is where Alfonso found the platform. And, you know, the one that was carved on the two sides. So back in that was in 1999, I believe. And I came down that season, and Alfonso was zeroing in on a particular kind of work. Yeah, he wrote me emails, and the subject line was chocolates. Más chocolates.
It's like, bring a flashlight. I need one right now. You really need a flashlight? I need it right now. You go, oh God, they found something.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me a pretty short time to get down here. Everything was still in the excavations. Nothing had been taken out. And started studying those inscriptions. You know, it was just mind-boggling to see that stuff for the first time. This was the platform I was describing in the museum, of course, right? All about Akal Monab and G1. That's really the story of that whole narrative. And I can't tell you guys just how amazing it was to see that as it was coming out of the ground. It's like finding the tablet of the cross, you know? It was that profound, just in terms of how it forced us to change everything we thought we knew about the triad and about the connection with the kings and how they changed from reign to reign. Every king had his own formula for referencing the triad. It wasn't just set in stone.
It was because of this particular inscription?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was so different from what Khan Bahlam was doing. And so this building is, of course, facing the Temple of the Cross, you know, and vice versa. And this structure is right in front of that spring of the Otulum. If we walked over this and down, you'd see right where the Otulum is coming out of the hill. Just like the springs we saw in the forest near La Picota.
When the panels started coming out, how soon could you start reading some of the inscriptions to see what?
Well, they had most of it exposed by the time I got down here.
Oh.
So I just sat down in front of it and just was numb for most of the day.
Wow.
And well, after that too.
So you could just sit down and start reading it.
Yeah.
And know.
Kind of trying to absorb all this information. Just kind of looking at it and shuffling down like half a foot, you know, every few minutes. And you kind of do a quick run through, and you're just going, oh my God, and then you go back and you look at it a little closer and sit there a little longer.
So it's iterative.
And you keep saying, oh my God, and then you sort of do it in just longer intervals as you absorb more and more. And you know, it's only happened a few times in my life like that. One of them was this year at La Corona. With that new stuff.
Kind of like that.
Yeah. And it's just this, you know, there have been maybe 5 or 6 times. Natunich, the cave.
And you were very young then, right?
Yeah, I was 16 then. Yeah. Natunich and La Corona this year here. Tonina, the warehouse in Tonina. One day, they let me into the bodega.
The storage, yeah.
And just, yeah, it just blew my mind. And that's where Alfonso really picked up that sort of ethos.
Meticulous.
And the meticulous. That was the model, and it is the model for a lot of archaeology.
Yeah.
And when he brought that here, it had never been done before.